Keanu Reeves is well known for his philosophical attitude during interviews and his generally wise demeanour. In my opinion, he's one of those people who come across amazingly difficult philosophical ideas just through experiencing life. Now, as far as I know, he hasn't studied it formally, but he still manages to come across the same exact ideas as some of the big names in philosophy, without their training. One of these thoughts I think is the secret to his success, and part of the reason he comes across so well.
How often do you think about death? Oh my god, I'm in a wall.
Like, genuinely, no reboot card, no guardian angel, no The Rock from Tooth Fairy coming to save you. It's probably not that often. And it's partly because it's hard. The 17th century writer, I might have to look at this name, La Rochefoucauld, summarized it wonderfully. One can no more look steadily at death than at the sun. It's actually its own challenge. It's like if I asked you what were you doing before you were born. It's not really something that's easy to understand or think about. But at the same time, think about all of the knowledge we wouldn't have about our solar system and the planets if we didn't look at the sun. So what? Death is hard to think about and the sun is hard to look at? What does that mean? It means that if you do those things anyways, it's massively rewarding. Keanu gets this.
I wonder what you've both learned about man's mortality. Is it something that you think about a lot?
Yeah, I'm 59, so I'm thinking about death all the time.
Still very young.
I mean, I think thinking about death is good. Hopefully it sensitizes to an appreciation of the breath we have and the relationships that we have the potential to have.
His use of potential here is really interesting, and it's where a lot of classical philosophers agree. Sartre, a French philosopher in the 20th century, recognized that death can cut off a person's life before they have the chance to give it meaning. I mean, think about Jack Black. If he had, God forbid, died before making Kung Fu Panda, he'd be remembered for a few good things like, School of Rock, like the classics. But his expectations going on to become the Minecraft legend suddenly mean nothing. His true value would never have been found out. Nothing ever decides it. It just kind of stays in suspense. This is the effect of death, and is part of the reason why it can seem so scary. This idea that you're in a race with death. Can I achieve what I want to achieve in my work, my projects, my relationships? Can I make something that's truly mine that no one else could make better than me? And can I win the race and in a sense have triumphed over death?
When a lion walks up and sees an elephant, he thinks lunch. An elephant thinks run. And it's all mentality.
Watching motivational reels can be so effective, but stuff like this does seem to be on another tier, like the David Goggins tier or something, like maxed out. Who cares about a podcast, you can have spiritual, universal reasons to get out of bed. But yeah, when Keanu thinks about death, it not only lets him appreciate everything more, but it reminds him that he's still in a race, and that there's so many potential relationships he could have that are just waiting on him acting. And that's all it is, it's a call to action. But actually more than that, it's the secret to becoming okay with dying. I mean, think about the Jack Black example. The current goated Minecraft Jack Black might feel more comfortable with death. He can feel secure that he's kind of won his own race. There's a poem by Hölderlin, I don't know how to say that German name, but it's super cool and you should read it here. I'll put it here, but most people hate poetry, so I'm just gonna keep going. But in essence, he basically says that he's already lived like the gods on Earth, so he doesn't really need anything else. He doesn't need an afterlife because he's already got that here. He's already had that feeling, to the point where he's okay with his life coming to an end. And this is part of the secret. Thinking about your mortality does amazing things for you. But hey, if you weren't convinced, I'll give you one more special example. The execution of Dostoevsky. The Russian author is famous for his philosophy. You've probably heard of Crime and Punishment, The Brothers Karamazov, or maybe even The Idiot. But long before he ever published these, he was sentenced to death. On December 22nd, 1849, he was 28 years old and being sentenced for conspiring with socialist groups. This, of course, pissed off Tsar Nicholas I, and he decided they should all die. Yeah. So they were brought to a firing squad, blindfolded, told that they were moments away from death. And here's what Dostoevsky had to say. The three of us were dressed in white robes and taken in a cart to the place of execution. I had only a few minutes to live. I cannot even describe the feeling. At the very last second, A pardon was read out, and they were sentenced to hard labor in Siberia. Now with a new renewed life in me, I am reborn. Never has there seethed such a healthy abundance of life in me. I will be reborn for the better. That is my hope. That is my entire will. He then went on in his lifetime to write some of the best literature of all time. And for real, I hope the closest any of us come to some crazy stuff like this is, like, I don't know, almost dying to a creeper in Minecraft. But that said, if we all, like Keanu, took even seconds a day to reflect on our mortality, I am positive it would help us appreciate life more and generally just put in more effort to the things we care about. Just enough effort so that when you're on your deathbed, which will inevitably happen, you can look back on your life and feel that you won the race with death. Made the relationships, art, work, or contributions that you wanted to make. And hey, this might make you as hot and sexy as Keanu, so there's no downside.